My dear respected faculty members and my classmates, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are well. I am Mahir Mahmood from Group 16. So today we're gonna present personal finance for the students. So I will start and my teammates will continue after me. So let's get started. So why personal finance is important? Because it builds awareness. It actually teaches us how to handle money. Secondly, stress is reduced. When we have a proper budget and the budgeting plan, then don't need to stress. Thirdly, independence is gained because if you have proper budget and the budgeting plan, then you don't need to depend on others' money. And fourthly, habits are shaped because when you practicing this from student life, it will remain in your life for the years. So here we can see some financial challenges faced by the students. First of all, income is limited because most of their money comes from their family and some others do some part-time jobs. Secondly, expenses are increased because they have tuition fees, they have house rent, they have transportation cost and other daily cost, and this is increasing day by day. And thirdly, spending is left unplanned because they have expenses but they do not plan actually. For this reason, pressure is created because their income and their expenses doesn't match. So here we can see some effects of poor financial management. So their savings are getting reduced and they depends on others day by day and they cannot bear emergency expenses, and for this reason their academic stress it is intensified, and finally their future goals cannot be delayed. So that's all from me. My friend Rishad Ahmed will continue from here. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, this is Rishad Ahmed, ID 20220107072. I'll be discussing how students earn and spend money. Every student has different sources of income. Most of their income that comes from their family allowances, but some students earn through tutoring, freelancing, part-time work, and scholarship from the institutions. On the other hand, students have some daily expenses like food, meals, transport, mobile internet, studying, and accommodation also who live other places for their study purpose. Then we, after the understanding of income and expense, then we need to understand the cash flow. When the income is received, the expense should be tracked to understand how much money is they earning and how much they're spending in which cases. Then a budget should be prepared every month based on their needs, wants, and savings. And savings should be allocated before all the money is spent. These are very four simple steps. Then we need to understand how to track the expense. We need to track our daily expenses, but through mobile app or notebook, even a small expense like food, transport, or printing should be recorded. Then every expense should be categorized to different groups, so we can monitor in which category is we are spending the most. Then we should review the expenses every week, so we don't over expense our budget. Then every month should be reviewed our total expense so that we can improve our next month, or we can prepare a more budget of more budget friendly of our expenses. Expense. Now I'll hand over to my next presenter, Hassan Ahmed Reina.
Assalamu alaikum. Myself, Asan Ahmad Vinat, ID 202201071004. So previous to have seen the where expenses came from and where expenses go and the cash flow about the student finance. Now we're gonna see that the budgeting framework. So here we can see that the budgeting framework is divided into three different parts. The first one is 50%, the second one is 30% that goes to wants, and the last 20% it goes to savings. So first of all, needs is basically our essential day-to-day study materials. It can be transportation costs, it can be food. That is our basic need of our daily life. And after that, we can see the 30% is wants, that is eating out purpose or our entertainment purpose, and that are shopping or any kinds of hobby. After that, the 20% is savings for the any kinds of future goal or emergency fund. So here we took a real life of example, that is income of 8,000 is allocated across needs, wants, and savings using the 50, 30, and 20 framework. So here we can see the savings, and the word buffer is very important in this segment because we can, if we save any amounts of buffer for our future goal, so it can be balance our future transition and any kinds of difficult situation. So after that, we can see the how a budget can be adjusted. So first of all, we can see a planned budget that is divided into three segments. Previously, I have seen 50%, 30%, and 20%, but every month is don't gonna be the same. Some difficult situation is arise. So here that 60%, 25%, 50% can be happen, and rules of flexible budgeting. So first of all, needs rise with essential costs. So when our essential costs or needs is increasing, so we have to balance the wants and also the savings for next month. So wants shrink in tough months. So actually, when the essential needs product is increasing, so the wants is shrinking for the tough months. And in that circumstances, we don't gonna quit or don't gonna stop our savings, and we can keep our buffer a little bit. And at the end of month, we can review our overall lookup about our savings and our overall month expense. So it's gonna be a clear explanation about the real life of example framework. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mahir Shahriar. Today, I'm going to talk about financial strategies as a student that can set you up for success while you are balancing classes, exams, and everything else. The principles we are going to cover aren't just some basic ideas. These are practical, actionable habits, such as we are going to save small amounts consistently, we are going to prioritize that, and we will utilize the mobile banking like bKash or Nagad, and finally, we will culminate a powerful tool, our emergency fund, our own safety net. Let's roll over to the next slide. Most student common belief is I don't earn much or I don't have much to make a difference. These data here prove otherwise. We can see saving just 100 taka per week results in 5,200 taka per year, whereas 200 per week results in 10,400 taka per year. And somehow if we can accumulate 300 taka per week, that results in 15,600 taka per year. Just think about this lump sum amount of money where you can use it in your own emergencies or for your own expenses. After that, the common questions also from students are, if we can save some amount of money or we can gain some capital, what we can do? What's the strategy here? The strategy here is that we need to build our own emergency fund, which can be called our own safety net. What's that? It's the reduction of our mental pressure from our shoulder so that we can focus on our academics or in the other segments we are interested in, like in business, or if someone wanna build something, someone wanna do freelance, everything else. For this stage 1, we can see the emergency fund is 2,000 to 5,000 taka. This can be used as our medical emergencies or some device repair, the sudden expenses. In this stage 2, we will save up roughly about 1 month of expenses, and in stage 3, it's about 1 to 2 months of expenses. By doing this, we reduce the pressure from our shoulder or the burden of thinking about money, or what will I do if I run out of money, this thing, because at this stage, the most important thing is we need to focus on our studies, on our academics, or the other segment we are interested in. The difference between having financial control and financial stress are simply boiling down to these 4 fundamental habits. And we don't need to start big, we don't need much capital, we just need to start. So start small, set up that first automatic transfer, and let's make it happen. That's all from me today. Thank you.
Imagine you receive 1,000 taka today, and just after 3 days, you get to see that your money is no more. Have you ever wondered what is the reason behind that? My name is Omyo Islam, and I'm here to show some simple ways that can be used in this type of situations, and we can mitigate this type of problems. First of all, if we talk about some common financial traps. Some financial traps are seen in many ways, like impulse buying, unused subscriptions, peer pressure spending, digital payment, overspending, unnecessary debt. These are the common issues that are made by students in their life. So to mitigate this type of financial traps, first of all, in case of impulse buying, a 24-hour wait can be applied. For unused subscriptions should be reviewed and cancelled every month that are not necessary. For peer pressure spending, a fixed social budget can be maintained regardless of others. Then for digital payment overspending, daily limits can be set on digital wallets and cards. And last of all, for unnecessary debt, borrowing should be avoided for too much unnecessity. Now if I go to my next slide, like how digital overspending can be controlled. So this is the most important parts, because these processes can make a student very efficient in case of their financial control. First of all, digital wallet limits can be established, then promotional offers can be evaluated before purchase, saved card information can be removed, and transaction notifications can be enabled, and last of all, digital wallet histories can be reviewed, like what are the transactions and what were the transactions in the whole month or in the whole week. And last of all, in my last slide, it is seen that we can make a 30-day action plan. Like we can categorize it. In first week, we can track our expenses in a daily basis. In second week, we can make our expenses or budgets in a 50-30-20 ratio, like which is most necessary, which is moderately necessary, and which is less necessary. And in third week, we can make a saving account that should be open. And in the last week, the budget should be reviewed and it should be adjusted. So before ending this presentation, it is my interesting question to my audience, like what financial habit could be started this month? Thank you so much.